Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean. Last time we managed to recruit herself a new party member, do a little bit of level grinding to get Fear up in levels so that she's not super squishy, just a little bit squishy. This time we are going to finally move on to a new town. Well, not really finally, we kind of sit around the area of Tattery and Astral for quite a while, especially when I decide to do 2 paths instead of 1. Anyway, with that being said, we can now finally move forward, which of course means going to a place I've already started to move toward before we even got to Tattery. Picked up that treasure when we did that. Cross the bridge, down here, run into more battles. Yeah, that's her Raven Sword. As you can, I kind of glanced over this last time, I believe, when I was trying to explain what it was. It basically empowers her throwing swords so that they will hit both on the way forward and the way back for a total of 4 hits. Not to mention, it is a very good tech that hits, or well, it's not even a tech really, just her normal attack. It has a very wide range, and on top of that, it's, range, so she can hit a lot, or a lot of damage, and hit a lot of enemies from a distance, so she doesn't get hurt as much. She really is, considering how squishy she is, she actually is well, she has the right skill set in order to make up for that. Anyway, north is the Parj Temple, where we're heading. If you chose not to go to Parj Temple when we had the option, you will have to go to Trop, the next town. Now, in Trop, the next town, you can actually go there right now. You can't do anything there, but you can go there, and you can pick up the items along the way if you feel the need to. And you can even buy the next ability or, the next set of skills there if you want. They're not particularly useful for me, so don't just stand there, Fear. There you go. Throw something. There we go. And you could do that, and I usually actually do that, but there's no real point to doing it. It doesn't really help you in any way. You don't get anything special for doing it. The skills you get are skills I won't be using at this point, so... one thing to note about Fear is she does like to spam her abilities a lot, so you may want to kind of keep an eye on her, because she likes to use too much, and of course then run out of MP. These enemies right now are weak as all hell, since we've done so much level grinding since, we arrived at Tattery. I think we arrived there at like level, 16, 17? I want to go left first, because up here we have a ruby, which I actually might use, and a smith hammer, which is used in smithing, obviously. Not that we'll be doing much of that for a while. Now, here's something for those who've actually played the game before. The way I was thinking about going about eventually when we get access to item creation is not actually crafting ultimate weapons, because you can craft your ultimate weapons as soon as you want, really. And I think that's going to break the game, so I didn't really want to do that. But I don't know. Anyone who's played the game, let me know what you guys think about, if I should craft any, maybe only weaker ones, or what. You don't really need to craft in the main game, not until post-game content. But I will definitely be crafting for smithing for post-game content and customizing and getting the best stuff that I can get. Now, if we continue to go this way, eventually... Now it looks like we're going back down for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe we're doing a big loop around a mountain. Hard to say for sure. There's not a lot of treasure on the way, so that's why I'm just kind of running straight through, not checking anything. As far as I know, I haven't missed any treasure, but, the guides I've been working off of aren't complete, and my own research isn't always complete, so you never know. Maybe I'm missing something. Here we get some iron, which is useless, and a 1000-fold, which is... Let's see, how much money do I have? Yeah, pretty much useless at this point. Oh well. Now, you'd think with all this money that I have that I would, have no problems affording all the stuff I'll need for the end of the game. No, not at all. You are going to need a lot of money before the end of this game. And I have a way of obtaining that money, so we'll go over there quite a bit later when we have a more appropriate point to do it at. Until then, we're just going to run through a bunch of this crap. Go up here. Have the audio glitch out on me because it just loves to do that. Now, if you notice what Yuri was doing there, she was kind of hitting and then jumping back and hitting again and again. That's her Hyper Knuckle tech that we learned last time. That's one of the reasons why I like it, because it kind of stun locks the enemy into place. Speaking of things that I haven't shown off yet, was there anything there? No. Go up here. I do want to show off Spirit Blast, which is this. As you can see, it's pretty much just like Yuri's Chi-Kung Fist, which is why I don't particularly care for it. It's not all that great. It does level up into a semi-decent attack, but I'm not a big fan of that one either. Now, I'm not sure if there's a specific use for this. Let's see here. Lion Statue. Annihilates beast-type monsters with a fixed probability. You can only get this one in the game, as far as I know. You might be able to item creation it. I don't know why you would care to do so. I've never used this on an enemy. I find it's faster to just attack things, and there's nothing that's that powerful that we really need to use items to kill. Not at this point in the game, anyway. I'm not sure if I showed off... Oh, I meant to sell my sabers. Oops. Oh well, guess I'll have to do that later. I don't think we'll find too many more in this area, so... And if I need to, I can always run and do it off screen. No big deal. Alright, so there's this big open area here that doesn't really have much of anything other than that one treasure. Heading up there will actually progress with the plot. However, you would never know that first time coming here because your natural instinct would be to follow the road. If you follow the road, you end up here to an area that is obviously the entrance to the Parj Temple. Hence why it's called Parj Temple. And we have some interesting music while we're here, which we don't get to listen to because battle time. Now, the killer bees are weak. Every other enemy in here is much more powerful than the ones we've been facing anyway. They're not, like, outstandingly difficult by any stretch. And as you can see, we have doors that don't work, and secret doors that kind of appear in a similar way. It kind of reminds me of the, oh, what is that? The Undersea Palace in Chrono Trigger. And we get some items there. Oh, we do get these guys. I think they drop swords too. I missed. Let's kill you. Yeah, see, these magicians are very similar. We've kind of seen them before, but only in the battle arena. We picked up a question mark weapon there, which is probably a saber. Who knows? Maybe it's a Sinclair or something. Anyway, so we've done that. Go over here. And get the easy battles out of the way. We're still at a point where the battles are going by fast enough that I don't feel the need to cut them out, though I will at some point start to do that. Now, as you can see here, yeah, this is the room we were just in. There's the door that won't open, or there's a battle. Why am I fighting so many bees? I'm not going to level up fighting bees. Ah, well, whatever. Yeah, so that's the door we were just at. So over here, we have access to an additional door. Here's some more mages. Now I think the one I just attacked there, I think that one's a healer, but I could be wrong. Let's try and keep Fear somewhat healed up. Let's throw her a blueberry here. That's a blackberry. That's a blueberry. Yeah, I like to keep her healed up at this point because she does take quite a bit of damage. Now we can go in this door here, which opens up a switch, which we obviously want to flip, which, if you're familiar with JRPGs at all, will open that door for us. There we go. Yeah, her Raven Sword against these guys is abusive. Yeah, she takes them out a lot faster than we do now. And as you can see, Iria and Radix are starting to take like under like 50 damage each hit from those swords, but Fear is still taking over 100, so you're gonna have to kind of keep her from getting hit too much, hopefully. And the music cut out. That's just great. Anyway, we won't be in this area long, but we will be fighting more enemies. As you can see, Fear's kind of run out of MP. She's already, you know, diminished over half of her max MP. So, yeah, keep an eye on her. Doing this gains us 6 SP, and that's it. That's all the areas within the Parj Temple. If you come here when you're not supposed to come here, you don't get access to the other door. And it makes it kind of, you know, seem like this is a really pointless area that you would never want to go to. But coming in here is a good idea, not just for the items that we picked up on this side, but because the other side is a little longer and we can actually get some pretty good stuff there. Not as far as items go, but some good experience and one other interesting aspect. Just keep running through these battles. Go over here, and the scene triggers. If the scene does not trigger here, you are not supposed to come here. The only way you can be triggered to come here is if you talk to Fear. And if you just have Iria and Radix, then I believe you have to recruit her because she doesn't mention Parj Temple until after you've already recruited her. On Cius's path, it's similar in that you're going to talk to her anyway. Ashley, same deal. So yeah, that's pretty much how that's going to work out. You can't come here if you just have Radix and Iria and you haven't recruited Fear. So there is no option to come here, which means you can't recruit the character here if you, you know, if you don't have at least one other character. Now we're going to look for a secret. Obviously it's not... What the hell is that? That is a flying thing. A flying person? Do we get to recruit an angel in this game? Normally we're fighting angels in the Star Ocean games. Kind of weird that way. What in the world are you? Yep, definitely an angel. Or a featherfall, that works too. Now, this is Joshua, not Yoshua. I may sound like an idiot here, but I grew up in the West, and in the West, a J sounds like a J. I know there's many countries, languages where J is pronounced as a Y sound. I'm not going to pronounce his name that way because honestly, it just sounds ridiculous to me. I know that's a very stupid perspective, but it is what it is. Just the way, you know, you grow up with the way it sounds to you, and then when you hear it a different way, such as when you hear an accent, it just sounds different and it sounds alien and it sounds odd. Sometimes with accents that can be a good thing, and sometimes with, you know, words and, you know, pronunciations or syntax, it can just sound really weird. And somehow he already knows Fear's name. You discovered something that looks like hidden entrance. Perfect! That's exactly what we're looking for. Physical strength, I fear I am inadequate. Very much the truth. Anyway, yeah, sure, why not? And for doing this, if you have Ashley at this point, Ashley will just move it by himself. If you have Fear, obviously it's a tag team effort. If you have Cius, I believe he moves it by himself as well. Whoa! Fear, what are you up to? Oh, well that makes sense. I guess we don't want someone else to grab it before we do. Well, that's static electricity. Let's stop them. When people fight like that, it makes it really difficult to recruit new party members. And because Joshua obviously has a very unique sprite, yeah, I'm not spoiling much that he is a potential party member. Not to mention I already spoiled it and said that there is a new party member here and we just met somebody. Yeah, so you're looking for someone too. Who are you looking for? I apologize. Alrighty then, let's move forward. Yeah. You'll be a burden to us. Yeah, that's true. Joshua is both a burden and help. Really powerful and important ally. Fear, you didn't like him. You argued with him. Now you're telling me how powerful this guy is. This level 15 red mage. Yes, Joshua is a red mage with both healing magic and offensive magic, all of which sucks. God, Joshua sucks. Probably my least favorite character in the game. Oddly enough, more useful than another character, which, at least late game. Late game, Joshua doesn't get any better, but he at least has the ability to kind of keep up. Well, at lower levels, there's another character that we'll get soon who is better at lower levels than at higher levels. And I'll go into why that is later. Alright, so he has both a single targeting heal and an all healing spell, which are quite useful, especially considering how low MP costs they are, both 3 and 10. His attack spells are nothing to, write home about. I've got the Ruby wand for him, even though all it does is up his normal attack, and that doesn't really matter. Can't do much with him here or there. He's got sandals on. He also has a flare ring. I think some of the enemies around here use fire magic. I don't know. I'm going to give him the emerald ring to reduce MP cost so he can keep doing spells. I'd give it to Fear, but unfortunately they only allow you to give these to mages who have spells, which is kind of unfortunate. And like Fear, he has a equipping, like a default item that he equips as an accessory that you can never remove. That one gives him 5 defense. Hers gives her defense against fire, and the main reason why she has it is it's used to manipulate the floating orb, which basically allows her to throw the sword. At least as far as I've been able to understand it, because I don't know any floating orbs that she has access to. No, that's another character. But, yeah. So, we have a new party member. Now, actually, let's check out what he got. He got Blessing of Mana, Pitch Sense, and Writing Ability. Now, I don't really care for any of his talents because pretty much none of them matter. If you don't have someone who has both Pitch Sense and... what's the other one? Rhythmic Sense together in one character, then I'd reset until he has those. He'll always have Blessing of Mana, and I think he has a decent chance of getting the musical abilities. I don't really care for anything else that he has. It would have been nice if he had, like, Sense of Taste or something like that. Originality doesn't matter with him because that's useless for... originality is just used to customize ultimate weapons, really, and in this game, rods aren't customized, they're all found, and he uses a rod, so, or a wand, whatever. Anyway, with that being said, battle time! Oh yeah, I meant to readjust my setup, because I wanted to... Yeah, see, there's his Blizzard spell. As you can see, he does about 350 per enemy. Not all that useful. Not bad. I find spells in this game are more annoying than they are useful because they just tend to, waste more time. I don't know. I'd hate waiting around for spells. Though I would recommend changing your formation now. Specifically to the Tri-Shift 1, which puts either your bottom character in the back row, even though there are no rows in this game, And yeah, that's quite nice because then he doesn't get beat up on. And I'm going to waste a blackberry or two on you because you're running low on MP. But that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Play Star Ocean. As you can see, we're kind of stuck here. Yeah, 2 doors. Which one do I pick? Well, you'll have to tune in and find out next time.